She's alright now. She's pretty upset, but I don't think she's gonna have any more problems.
You bullied at school?
Mm-hmm.
Bad?
Pretty bad.
Were you beaten up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was this all through school?
Probably up until about halfway through grade 6.
Well, it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it stop?
Fought back.
What happened?
Oh, there was this little prick and he'd been bullying me for about 2 years. And, this one day, you know, we're playing Dumbbell and he just started getting stuck into me. And, you know, and I started crying and he just kept following me, just kept saying shit to me, just wouldn't leave it alone, you know.
Mm.
And I just grabbed him and threw him up against a wall and just beat the absolute fuck out of me.
And he stopped?
He sure did. It's always better to give than receive.
Is it?
Fuck yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, you gotta fight back, you know. Otherwise
what?
Otherwise people will walk all over you. You know? I mean, that's the thing. I wasn't looking for trouble as a kid. You know, but I learned there's people in this world who will take and take till there's nothing left of you. I used to get angry about it, like, I used to get angry myself because I couldn't do nothing about it, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was weak, you know what I mean? Like I remember, I took a razor blade out of the bathroom cupboard and went down the swings at the end of the street. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to top myself, you know. I've had enough. Because I was getting hit at home, I was getting hit at school, you know. And, but I couldn't do it, you know. And then I thought, geez, you weak bastard, you can't even kill yourself, you know what I mean? And I thought, is it because I don't want to die? Or is it because I'm just afraid to cut myself? So I took the razor blade and it cut me in. Anyway.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Welcome.
This is probably not the best time in the world to do this, but...
Adventure time!
Yes, you can have a hit.
No. I'm doing it anyway because I can't stop thinking about it.
Well, you can always light up.
It's wild that as if this virus shit is not bad enough, there's still people that live in this fucking world that have diseases that think they don't need to tell other people that they have them.
Sexual diseases.
Fucking blows my mind, dude. This is how shit like this gets spread. This is exactly why we're sitting in the situation that we're fucking in right now. because people are fucking selfish.
The new school is based on Culver shit.
And they don't consider other people at all. Some fucking Momo that is within range.
I'll be in the actual Momo.
Yeah. Is fucking has HPV, right? And she's like, I don't usually tell people that I have it.
Hello, motherfucker.
Which is fucking crazy. How do you have a fucking disease that will alter somebody's life 100%? And everybody else, yeah, because this is exactly why people have this shit in the first place. And I mean everything. Fucking AIDS, herpes, the clap, everything, anything that you can think of. It's all the same. So, Jen's talking to this person, and she's like, well, if you have it, and because she's been fucking hooking up with dudes left and right, supposedly, while all this is happening. In the middle of a fucking pandemic, this asshole has hooked up with 3 different dudes. In the middle of all of this, which is extremely rude, by the way, to everybody that lives in and around here, because she's putting all of us at risk by having these strange dicks walking around.
You dumb fuck!
But we're like, you got a responsibility to tell these people that you have some shit. You can't just not say anything. That's wrong. Because then you're just helping to pass it along. Like, it's fucked up. How did you get it?
I know how she got it. She got it from the 65-year-old man that cheated on his wife with her.
Oh. Well, he didn't tell her that he had it, right? But that's how she got it, because the person that had it didn't tell her. So what does she do? What does she do? Everybody that she fucks, she doesn't tell. Except for one guy. The one guy that she actually tells decides that he doesn't want to fucking...
Because he's supposedly a doctor.
He doesn't want to talk to her. He don't want to...
He said he doesn't want to get HPV, but he likes her. But, because she kept on pressuring him to come and fuck her, he just said, stop, then stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to block you. And she thinks that, he just wanted dirty pictures of her, and it's like, no, you're pressuring him.
I just can't stop getting the butt, and the only thing I ask, girlfriend, is we fucking or what?
And this
sex with you.
This is coming from a woman, in the age of fucking the Me Too era, where only guys are dirtbags and... Because
she asked me, she's like, am I pressuring him? And
yeah,
like,
bitch.
Yeah, you are, you got it, he doesn't want to get it. He said, let's just be friends, just to see how this shit, like, if I really like you,
It's not worth it.
He's like, because he was going to come over and hang out with her, not have sex or anything like that.
What are you buying?
But that's what she said with, the other 3 guys.
Yeah, until she puts the pressure on.
And she didn't supposedly she didn't fuck the first one, she just blew him and he ate her out or did something.
Ugh.
But then, somehow the dog, touched, his nuts, so I don't, like, how she was explaining it. But you gotta remember, she's also, she was born with half of her brain developed and half under or isn't developed.
But she
and then
knows.
on top of a car accident on top of it.
Yeah, but she knows what she's doing. It's not like she's. It's not like she's so shot out. Like, she's living on her own. She makes her own. She makes her own food. She's not a fucking invalid. Just because she's partially fucking brain dead.
Yeah, she got her own credit cards.
She knows how to
pays
fuck.
her rent.
She knows how to fuck. She knows how to fucking give somebody a heads up. There's no excuse. Plus, we know people that don't have any impairment at all. That just don't tell people because why should they?
If you're talking about the person I'm thinking about, that person had a umbilical cord wrapped around her throat. She was technically dead.
Well, I'm talking about a
And when
bunch
they-
of people.
when
I'll
they
just
clarified
edit
that
his
she was
fucking name out later, but
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like him, like I wasn't gonna tell her. I was just gonna give it to her and worry about it later.
Yeah, because I was the one who was like, "Oh, don't do it," letting you know that this person has this and this. And
Yeah,
he
and
was
I
like,
do
got the
too.
same thing.
And I wasn't gonna say anything. You should be shot.
And it was the same guy that was trying to fuck me when I was a minor, and he was 20-something
Dirtbag.
years old.
Dirtbag. Guys, you should be shot. If you
He
have
couldn't
some
get
shit.
me, but that's all right. He was a caveman probably.
If you have some shit and you don't tell somebody and you give it to them, you should be fucking shot.
Okay!
He got it from his baby mama. Because she was fucking around on him.
Fuck
when
her
she was
too.
pregnant
Dude,
with
there's
this
a
kid.
there's a comedian, Joe List.
I don't know what it's up with, people that, get fucked over by their sexual partners, they do the same thing.
Some people probably don't know that they have it because sometimes you'll get some shit and not know right away. So you're spreading it around without knowing it. But once you know that you have some shit and you don't tell somebody, that's fucked up.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Found out that she had it from her second husband because he was fucking around on her. I think she's the only one that I know that got fucked around, got some STDs, and told every sex partner that she was, going to have, that she had it. Out of anybody that I fucking know, that is
When I want to be naughty.
the only person that ever told anybody.
It's wild, man. It really is.
I have friends. I have friends that have it. You know a couple of my girlfriends that have it.
Yeah.
That won't fucking.
They don't tell nobody.
And they even know that they got it because of.
People
They
don't.
were sharing
That's
the
because
same
they
shit.
think that it's okay. If somebody gave some shit to me, they didn't tell me, so why should I tell the other person? I don't need your help. Thank you very much. Struggling enough as it is. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life, dude. There's a comedian, Joe List, that has herpes. He's open about it. It's not like it's a fucking secret. But he told the story on Ryan Stickler's podcast, The Honeydew, of how he got it. Was he was seeing some broad and they were just about to fuck, like naked in the bed. And then right before he went to do it, she was like, oh, by the way, I got herpes. And he was like, fuck it. Fuck it. We're already here. We're going to do it.
So the herpes got you down. Do we know for sure you have that diagnosis? Because a lot of people think they have it and don't, and then a lot of people have it and don't know it.
I think that's what I have. I mean, it flares up occasionally. I take Valtrex. That helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Although my wife has never gotten it, so
Well,
maybe
see, that's what's peculiar, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
she may have it and not know it.
yeah, it just hasn't, bursted out of there.
Right. Which
Yeah.
it's a weird illness that way. Do you go take efforts to protect her from it?
No is the short answer.
Yeah, just the Valtrex.
I'll take we don't have sex if I'm having an outbreak or whatever, and then if I feel anything, I'll take some Valtrex.
Which, I mean, I don't understand that logic. If you could buy a plan B for herpes, that makes sense, I guess. But even then, just like taking an extra risk, I don't get it. I understand being in the heat of the moment, but that's fucking crazy. To be like, oh, I'm gonna have some shit for the rest of my life that is going. You know what? Let's fucking look up what HPV really is. I hate doing this off of the fucking phone, but because I'm here, this is how we're going to do it. Oh, and also I looked up hands too. which is going to make sense in a little while. 70 million people in the U.S. are under a severe weather threat. Well, I'd say that's the least of our fucking problems, yeah? Stimulus check won't be in the mail for Americans who owe child support. I will believe that check is coming when I fucking see it, dude. How about that? But let's not get off topic here. Because I know there was a vaccine for it, supposedly. Human papillomas. That's not how you say that at all. Can they pronounce it? Well, I tried that and you couldn't hear it last time. An infection that causes warts in various parts of the body depending on the strain. What the fuck world do we live in, dude? Is most commonly transmitted through... Now it's not an STD anymore, they call it a STI. Sexually transmitted infection. Spreads through sexual contact. Some types presentable by vaccine. Some types can last for years or be lifelong. So it can go away? I never heard of this. Yeah, I don't know. Many people with HPV don't develop any symptoms, so they could still be infected through sexual contact. Symptoms include warts on genitals and surrounding skin. Foul. Treatments: there is no cure for the virus, and the warts may go away on their own. Treatment focuses on removing the warts. A vaccine that prevents HPV strains.
But then you gotta make sure that you don't have HPV for you to get the HPV vaccine, so you don't get it.
But you probably knew that. Or maybe not. I don't really know you.
Welcome back, Captain Obvious.
Yes, I am!
And there's no infection. Infection would be like the clap or chlamydia. Something that you could take a fucking pill and, and get rid of it. Not fucking keep on taking pills so you can avoid the fucking outbreaks.
I don't know.
That's a fucking disease.
Yeah.
Herpes, genital warts,
this is
anal
the
warts.
same shit. This is basically the same shit.
I know, it's a hybrid of, the herpes and warts.
Let's see what they say the treatments are. But there's no cure for it, we know that.
Because I know somebody that's really close to me, that had got them cut off, frozen off, burnt off.
Shot, stabbed, poisoned, hanged, run over by trains, cars, blown up, fucking you name it, I've seen it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything except hide it.
Yeah, but guess what? 4 or 5 procedures, and this person still has the outbreaks.
I mean, I don't...
And still can give it to other people, even when they don't have the outbreaks. Yeah, because because fever sores, because everybody has a type of herpes.
Hold on, this is odd. Babies 0 to 2 years old are commonly affected. Toddlers 3 to 5 years old are rarely affected. But then it goes back over to children 6 to 13 all the way through 60 plus are rarely affected. So I guess between the ages of 3 and 5 is the only point in your life where you wouldn't be affected by it. I find that odd. I don't understand. Percentage of the population has HPV. Approximately 79 million Americans are currently infected with HPV, with roughly 14 million people becoming newly infected each year. Most men and women, about 80%, are sexually active people, are infected with HPV at some point in their lives, but most may never know that they have the virus. Do you see that? That's exactly what I'm talking about. 14 million people are newly infected every year because people are fucking selfish. Dude, those numbers could be avoided. So what? You have some shit. Fuck other people that have the same shit. Don't be rude.
I know.
I'm handicapped. I fuck somebody that's handicapped. I mean.
Check out
Drop the big brain on Brad.
Well, you know,
That's-
that's how you know that you
that's-
can't get, you know, you can't get charged for raping a mentally handicapped.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
you already you know,
Yeah.
too, you know.
I mean, I was joking, but that would be fucked up if somebody actually thought. Because I've had that happen. People do think that you can catch the retard disease. They
Well,
think
they
it's
think that
possible.
you can catch the CP.
They do. They think you can. They think you can catch it, which is wild. That's like saying that if you
Like-
fuck somebody that's dyslexic, that you're not going to be able to read no more.
Or you're around somebody with webbed toes. You know,
Yeah, you're gonna
catch
web-toed up.
toes.
Unless your kid might have it, but that's it.
Oh, remember, you know, with the person,
Oh, I gotta go back to that.
you know, that was pregnant, that had had herpes, genital warts, HPV, genital warts, anal warts.
You just said genital warts twice.
Okay, whatever. You know, generally, you know, I guess any warts that you would get in your butt or your cooch or around there, you know.
Well, I think they could pop
and
up anywhere.
inside.
I think they could pop up anywhere, but I just clicked on a. There's two things that I need to read. There's this one, which says that the HPV is a hidden epidemic in the United States, and the other one was 10 myths about HPV. So we get to see what's really true
Well, we
and
don't
what
know.
is made up.
We don't know, you know, because it's off of Google.
Yeah. Well, if in the event that is true, I mean, obviously,
You're not
a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Thank God I'm not a
you're not a
doctor.
disease doctor.
Dude, I don't, you know what? We gotta take a moment and just fucking appreciate everybody that is on the front lines of this shit.
You're a coochie doctor. You're like, what the fuck are those things? You
I
know,
mean,
just
dude,
like, oh, I'm
how do
sorry.
you not panic every day when you get up and go into work, knowing that either if you're a dick doctor or a twat doctor, that your odds of having to come in contact with somebody that has this shit is probably 9 out of 10. So 9 out of every 10 patients that you see has some shit that you could potentially get if your glove breaks.
Well, remember, I panicked with that older guy because he didn't have no fucking face mask.
Yeah.
And he's just like, face in the coochie.
Yeah, that
And
was
I'm
funny.
Like,
He's
oh,
old
fuck,
though.
you know,
He
and
don't.
He's like trying to pry my legs open.
He's
I'm like,
old,
no,
though.
Put the face mask on.
I respected that guy because he was like, I'm too old. My
He's
dick don't work
talking.
anymore.
But he was talking in, like, not in my pussy, but
Basically,
like,
in
I
your
could
pussy.
feel his breath, and
That's
thank
hilarious.
God, thank God, like, he wasn't a spitter.
Ah, what are you looking for, a fat lip?
I say that's hilarious because the idea of that is funny, but the actual action of it is horrifying. I know what it's like to have a stranger.
You were there with me because he was like, "Oh, sir, you gotta leave." I'm like, fuck you, he's staying."
Well, I also know I've been to the dick doctor before, so I know what it feels like to have a stranger up close and personal to your deal.
That's like somebody prying your butthole open just so slightly and
But this
just
dude,
start talking into
this
it.
dude fucking. I've had ultrasounds on my balls before. That's.
Do you remember how I could I tell you to relax and I can breathe in and out of your mouth through your nose?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's kind of like that. You know.
Well, let me fucking read this thing here. That I'm just gonna call it the HPV because I can't probably say that properly. Is the most commonly. That's not how it's. No, that's what it. That's how we say it, but I don't think that's how it's actually pronounced because the way that it's spelled, there's a M in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Because look, it's spelled PAPILLOMAVIRUS. That sounds like there would be an M in the pronunciation. I don't know if there actually is. I'm going to look it up. I got Jen's phone. So we're gonna see if we can get the pronunciation. And wonder why they call it the human. That must mean that there are animals that have it.
Animals can get herpes and worse.
Dr. fucking Jen over there.
Tasha had some type of herpes.
Come on, you fucking cunt leper. Here we go. Pronunciation. How do we say it? Okay, so it doesn't come up on the phone the way it does on the computer. So let's click a YouTube deal. Anytime you're ready. What?
Mavina.
What the fuck are you?
Hamina Papina Mavina. Hamina? Papina? Mavina.
That's what it said. That's not right, dude. Stop it. Why are you lying to me like that? Even a dog don't buy what you're selling. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how you say that at all.
Human papillomavirus. Brand Gardasil. Translation. Hume, as in humor. Ann, as in ant. Pa.
Alright, we don't need to go that deep. So yeah, that other guy I think was just trolling. Okay, it's a sexually transmitted infection, because we gotta change words now.
It's a fucking disease. Not fucking.
With an estimated 24 million active cases and 5.5 million new cases every year, according to the National Cancer Institute. Various strains of the HPV cause the great majority of cases of cervical cancer. Despite this fact, public ignorance about HPV is very high. Recent studies have shown that there are very high levels of HPV infection among women, with the highest levels among young women, according to the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention. One recent study among female college students indicates that an average of 14% become infected with the genital HPV each year. Levels of current infections in men of the same age appear to be similar, which probably means that they're slightly less, but I'm sure it's probably less likely to be reported for a man than it is for a woman, because a lot of guys are dirtbags also. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, 70% of American adults 18 or older have never heard of HPV. Furthermore, most, 89%, have never discussed the issue with their healthcare provider. Although cases of HPV are not formally reported in the United States, available data from the CDC indicates that at least 75% of reproductive age population has been exposed to this disease. 15% of Americans ages 15 to 49 are estimated to be infected. Risk factors include lifetime multiple sex partners, history of infection with other transmitted infections, early age at first intercourse, weakened immune system, and the presence of HIV. So those are all the things. HPV is typically spread by skin-to-skin contact during vaginal, anal, or oral sex with someone who has the infection. Fuck! You would think that... I didn't know you could get it through oral. Yeah, me neither. Well, it means I probably got it.
Well, at least I only blew 2 people in my life.
Well, I guess I'm good. I haven't blown any. No, I might be alright. I don't know.
Well, I don't have it, so you don't have it. Unless you to other people if I have a back.
Yeah, when do I have the time to do that? I never leave the house. And now I'm too scared.
I know, I made you fear for,
Every time I look at somebody now, the first thought that I have is not whether... Yeah, it's not whether or not they're good looking. It's I wonder what disease they probably have.
I guess I'm shallow, because I'll be like, they're good looking, or cute, pretty.
Yeah, but you don't...
But I don't think of them like sexual, because I don't think of people really like,
I
always... This person's so hot, I want to fuck them.
I always think now, I start judging people by how they look. Like, oh, I bet you probably got some shit.
You got some missing teeth, you got some front cavities.
Well, I mean, I know I don't look the greatest either, but...
No, I mean, like...
technically, though, I do have a disease.
Yeah, but
which is why I look like this, but it's not the one that everybody thinks that it is.
Yeah.
With someone who has an infection, despite their potential severity, the health consequences of HPV and other STIs are often hidden and can occur years later after infection. Thus, many people do not know they are infected or that they can pass the virus to others.
That's why every, I think, 3 or 6 months, your male and female are supposed to be tested.
Vietnamese women have the highest indication of invasive cervical cancer in the United States.
That's because all the Americans go there and fuck the women. They're prostitutes.
They're here, though, not over there. But I mean, that would make sense if it's been around that long. That it could have came from Vietnam, the war in Vietnam.
World War I, World War II, you got war hookers,
Cervical cancer is associated with HPV infection is now the 9th most common cancer among women in the United States, according to the American Cancer Society. In 1999, nearly 12,800 cases of this type of cancer were diagnosed. Of these cases, about 1/3 will ultimately die of the disease. Ain't that about a bitch? In the United States, Vietnamese women have the highest incident of invasive cervical cancer, about 43 per 100,000. This probably affects the lack of prior screening with a pap smear, which can detect cervical cancer at an early treatable phase.
Yeah, but they don't even mention that there's 2 types of cervical cancer or ovarian cancer.
Well, no, that's what they're saying. The cancer directly related to this disease is the only one that they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why they said if you go up.
How much you want to bet, how you got HPV? Some dude or lady. Oh, well, no. It would be a guy that would have herpes fucking somebody that has cervical cancer. The cervical cancer that gets passed on by bloodline. And somehow the gene mutated in her or him, and bam, you got HPV.
Fuck. Okay, I'll ask, Native, Korean, and Hispanic women represent other at-risk populations with incident rates of 15 per 100,000 or higher. African American women are more than twice as likely to die from the disease, 6.7% for 100,000, with their white counterparts being 2.5. Dude, that sucks. They're like, God damn, even the fucking pinkies have us beat with the fucking disease, like more of us are gonna die. I wonder why that is, if that has something to do.
Black people were more prone to diseases because of that they lack a gene or.
No, I don't know.
I forgot. It's like how they'll have liver.
No,
disease.
they have something that we don't have. I think in their skin that we don't have, which is why. Yeah, something like that. something like that. They have, which is why
they have melatonin and we don't.
Yeah, which is why their color is the way that it is. But that also might be the reason why.
But that is a gene. That is a genome in our bodies that mutated to not have. It's like, the albinos. And then, probably, how you got the real albinos was from us being black people, then mutating into,
I don't understand how all that shit works, but that's a whole different...
I don't know how it works, but I have theories, because you got evolution, and you got shit that can mutate.
Obviously, if you move from Africa to Minnesota, I would assume after certain generations, because you're further away from the equator, that your skin tone would wind up lightening because
you're darkening.
Well, no, but if you're in Minnesota, it would light because you're further away from the sun.
No, I'm saying it's like wherever
or the heat,
move
whatever.
To.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if we move to Africa, we would, our kids would probably get darker and darker.
There's no effective way to prevent the infection. While condoms can reduce the risk, the virus can still be transmitted through even the minor cuts in the skin. According to some person who is the chief of transmitted disease branch of the U.S. government, National Microbiology. Further research on topical myotropics and effective...
It's creams, I think.
I don't know. I don't pretend to understand what these words mean.
I heard that term.
In addition, she strongly encourages young women to obtain a pap smear to help them monitor, precancerous. Controversy exists of how is the best way to handle the issue of HPV. One former, who cares? This asshole has argued that there are several steps that need to be taken to reduce it. In the new cases, the CDC is placing warning on condoms that they do not protect against HPV and that the virus is connected to cervical cancer. Many public health experts believe that more of a target public health and research efforts would have a greater impact. This response involves encouraging greater sex education in schools by health professionals regarding HPVs and other STIs, promoting regular pap smears and using HPV and DNA tests. Food and Drug Administration, again, pap smears. New vaccination against HPV may also protect 80%. This is all about pap smears, but this is nothing. It says...
If they find a different way to test guys instead of sticking a fucking giant Q-tip in you guys' dick holes.
Well, I was just going to bring up the fact that all they're talking about is pap smears, and they're not talking about how there's a ways to... They need to put information out there of how to test fucking men so that we will be more likely to go and get tested, because when a fucking ignorant person reads some shit like this, they go, oh, well, it's only a pussy thing. I don't have to worry about it. You eat... I'm going to pause this because you wanted to go downstairs anyway, and I got to take a piss. So now we got Laughing at Birds podcast on Facebook, at Laughing Birds on Twitter, at Laughing Birds Pod on Instagram. And as always, Spotify, iTunes, Anchor.fm, Breaker, TuneIn, Stitcher, CastBox, Pocket Cast, wherever you find podcasts, make sure to look up this one, rate it, subscribe to it, heart it, whatever the fuck, leave a comment on it, make it more visible for other people to see it.
We know your time is valuable. Thank you for holding. Someone will be with you as soon as possible.
Make sure you get your whole head in front of the shotgun. Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
I know this has absolutely nothing to do with what I was talking about earlier, but I'm gonna throw it in here because by the time this comes out, the show will still be relatively new, I think, and it deserves it as much as, you know, Instagram can suck my dick at Laughing Birds Pod, and Twitter can too at Laughing Birds on Twitter. Fucking, that was redundant, but Dave is a really good fucking show. If you don't know, if you never heard of it, it's by this dude who's a rapper, Lil Dicky.
I thought you were gonna promote.
I wasn't going to promote it because of fucking Instagram, but they just did some shit on Bipolar that is legit, like real deal, fucking real deal shit, dude, and it deserves a fucking...
Because of me?
Yeah, well, and me too, because my...
started going like this.
I think this whole fucking podcast that I do is just when I'm in my manic episodes. Because I get fucking energy and I want to talk and I don't think about it, and then when I come down off of it and I gotta edit, I hate all of it and I want to kill myself. Because I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Why did I ever think I could fucking do this? What the fuck makes you so special? Anybody who wants to hear what the fuck you gotta say? You hear your fucking voice? Other people want to listen to that? Are you fucking crazy? There are people that you've known for 20 fucking years that don't call you because they don't want to hear what you have to say. But a stranger is going to click on a random photo that you gotta loop them in with just so they can hear you talk? What?
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, what is this goofy thumbnail?
Yeah, but the point is, it's a good fucking show, and it's real deal. It's real deal shit.
Yeah, from
two wacko motherfuckers.
Yeah, from my type of bipolar.
A depressed, schizophrenic, split personality, bipolar fucking maniac, and a manic depressed fucking bipolar tendencies.
I don't accept the schizophrenic and the other shit, but bipolar I do agree. But also I think I might have manic bipolar because I'm just fucking 0 to 60 all the time, all day, every day, and then I get my little energy boosts is when I start shaking the shit out of you.
Yeah, it gets annoying sometimes.
Yeah, or I get the fast talks. Where I start talking quick fast and I start stumbling over my words. Right now I'm not. I mean,
you were earlier.
I'm good right now, I think.
I think you were in it earlier.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. I'll add... Fuck. I'll add more to this shit later. I had to go back into fucking STDs because that's originally what I was talking about. So if you're in between right now, getting worse on your dick,
right now, fucking,
and looking for a new show, you should check that one out. You should totally do that. And season 3 of Ozarks was good. They left it off on a fucking hell of a hanger, but we know it's never coming back because of coronavirus. So
Happy came out with season 2, so they are going to release season 3 sometime this year.
What, Happy is?
Yeah, I think because season 2 came out on television, sometime last year.
I didn't know that.
Well,
wait, Thursdays, every Wednesday on FXX is Dave's shit, and it comes out every Thursday on Hulu. Happy is season 2 is on Netflix.
And that's his imaginary friend.
And so is Ozark season 3.
And Saul Rosenberg is going to be on.
I'm about to watch fucking Freud. See what this is all about. This guy's always talking about people fucking their mothers, but now I gotta go.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, but now I gotta go out in the hallway, so I gotta turn this off. Alright, look, I'm going over something totally off the rails here. I know I had to get back to the fucking STDs, STIs, whatever the fuck you want to call it, bullshit. But this will kind of fall in line with that as far as people's logic is concerned. Like, I come across this 100 humans life questions answered, which is, let's be honest, it seems to be a bad version of Adam Ruins Everything. Except they're putting a lot more psychology into it. Except I feel like they're skewing the numbers in their favor. Like, give me an example of what I'm talking about here. Alright, they're showing mugshots of people. All 6 of them are actors. 3 that are supposed to be not as good looking versus the other 3 that are statistically considered good looking. Accounted for the same crimes.
They have the same script.
It's all the same shit, right? But so then they divide 50 people, so 100 people get divided, and each group has to look at this mugshot and decide how much time they would give a person.
And hear the story.
Right. So what happens here is, just to give you an example, there was one dude who was robbing houses, robbing packages off of people's property. When
off of the porches, not even. I don't think they said home invasion.
Yeah,
just
no,
said,
no.
Like, it was just stealing packages.
Yeah, so.
And I think it was like 7 to 13 years that they estimated.
That he could get.
Yeah.
The recommended sentence is 7 to 13. But, so they're going through this, and here's why I think that they're skewing their numbers, is because when they show the attractive people, I mean, they're showing people that are saying things like, well, you know, it was non-violent, person didn't break into anybody's house, technically nobody was hurt. Then they go to the other group with people that are supposedly not attractive, and there's a lady in this group saying that, you know, I got robbed for my entire life savings, you know, so it's not a victimless crime just because just because you don't hurt somebody physically doesn't mean you don't fuck up their life. So, I mean, are they taking this into account? Are they taking these mind states into account when they do this shit? I don't think so. I'm actually going to just put this back on.
No doubt. What your unconscious bias can make you morally judge somebody more harshly because they come from a stereotype group. The darker skin you are, the more depth-worthy you're deemed.
So I have skin that gets really light or dark easily with the season.
Yeah, no shit.
Should I commit crimes in January to get a lesser sentence? But then don't forget about summer bod.
Oh, yes.
Hey, but here's the answer to that question. You have to make sure that by the time you go to trial,
right,
you stayed out of the sun. Because then the lighter you will be there for the jury to look at. And that's when they're making their judgment on the basis of the defendant they're seeing in front of them. So,
look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that black people don't get harsher sentences than white people. That would be fucking insane of me to say that, because they do in most cases. But not everybody white slides though, dude. That's the other, like,
You didn't slide.
hell no, I got fucked right up my pooper. But let me tell you why. A lot of it is because of what the economic background is. I think if there's a black dude that is in a rich family, in a rich neighborhood, and he's selling weed versus somebody who is in a poor neighborhood like I was, I think the person that has money is obviously more likely to get off, whether their parents are somebody's or they're not. So, I mean, I think you got to take the economic background into consideration, as well as the skin, and then let's not bullshit ourselves. It obviously always is going to come down to the fucking discretion of whatever officer is involved in the quote pursuit.
Speaking of lighter skinness, are you saying that kind of Western traditional attractiveness, that's going to play better in these situations where you...
Why doesn't he just say white? This is some real left-wing pussy bullshit, dude. He said, are you saying that Western attractiveness is basically going to get you a lesser sentence? Grow some balls, you fucking fairy, and just say, so you're saying white people will get less than black people. Say what the fuck it is.
Person of color.
Yeah, say what the fuck it is, dude. And if this fucking doctor guy doesn't bring up economic background, he's bullshit.
Yes, what you find is we are going to make a moral judgment of them that's much harsher for the unattractive than the attractive one. That's moral luck. That's like flipping a coin and saying, if you're attractive, you're less wicked. If you're unattractive, you're really wicked.
Okay, the scale of 1 to 10, how attractive am I?
You have all...
You're 0, son.
Sit there and say, I'm going to give him less of a sentence than I'm going to give somebody who doesn't have the same symmetry and doesn't have the same features. That's just the truth. Just as I have to recognize my male privilege, you have to recognize your attractiveness privilege.
I have to recognize my male privilege. Motherfucker, I can't get pulled over and show some cleavage and get out of a ticket. Shut the fuck up. We all get breaks in life, dude, okay? When I go to the bar, I don't get free drinks unless I'm in Florida and some gay dude's trying to fuck me and I gotta try to run away because... Or an older lady. Yeah, or an older lady that's really trying to roofie me for my money.
Or trying to cop a feel your dick, you know.
I mean, that's it.
Older lady that...
Women don't fall over themselves trying to buy me drinks because they're trying to fuck me. Men do that for women. Everybody has their thing. Everybody's got their thing, dude.
What's my thing?
That's what it is.
You got titties and a vagina. That's your thing.
I never cut out of anything.
I'm not saying that you have, but that's already an advantage for you.
I never had a guy buy me a drink or wanted
Are
to
you
buy me
fucking high?
Yeah.
Are you high?
Well, you can't count the bartender telling me because I finished
No,
the
I'm
bottle,
saying,
you know.
okay, you know what? Go to any fucking bar that you want. Obviously not right now because of what's going on, but I'm saying, you go into any bar that you want, you sit there long enough, and some fucking dude with a hard dick is gonna be wobbling over trying to get you drunk to fuck you.
They'll try to catch me in the bathroom like the Spanish couple.
Ugh.
Active privilege. People treat you differently, and I do. Treat me like a normal person, okay? And don't have to be nice to me because I'm hot.
Yeah, you have an infectious smile.
Is an infectious smile just one of the many attractive qualities you possess? Well, you. And congratulations. The world sees you different, gorgeous, and you too, handsome. But why? What is it about your godlike physical attractiveness that confers all these benefits on you?
They fucked this show all up, dude. Could have been good. It could have been a contender.
When we, the comparatively ugly, see that perfectly symmetrical jawline of yours, those gym-toned abs, those impossibly uncalloused feet without a hammer toe in the bunch, we cannot help but automatically assume that every other thing about you is great as well. Your attractiveness means you are nice. It means you're smart.
No, it fucking doesn't.
Yo, I met pretty people before.
The hotter you are, the bigger fucking douchebag you are. Are you crazy?
Stupid you are.
Get the fuck out of here.
It means you're good, even if you're not. What a racket. Such is the power of beauty. It creates in the beholder a powerful cognitive bias, clouding our judgment with all sorts of misinformation, based solely on the fact that you're doing things to our loins. Of course, you've been
I hate this fucking show.
Now, there's a reason our humans all dress like they just got out of rehab. This uniform strips away any preconceived notions based on clothes, of course. If you put 100 humans together, you're going to get some party. From our observations, it's always the funniest ones that get the most attention. Could it be that being funny makes people more attractive? Welcome to experiment number 4, where we ask, does being funny make you sexier? To begin our experiment, we've divided our humans into 2 audiences and enlisted the help of 2 struggling stand-up comics. They're equally talented and relatively average in the looks department. Humans.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be from the bonfire.
You'll hear from 2 speakers, and then you'll rate their performances. To create a baseline, Andy and Dina are going to tell each group a very boring story.
Hello, my name's Andy. I'm going to tell you a story about how I came to live in Los Angeles. I lived in
Sounds like me when I try to
There was a
talk.
lot of things that made me decide that I wanted to cancel my gym membership, like. And anyone in here who's like, I have.
Both of them are not funny.
Yeah, not at all.
So I don't understand why the guys
Humans are showing our comedians some love.
That's because they don't know shit about stand-up.
Yeah.
I think he was that cute, but when someone's funny, like, it makes them that much cuter. So I did left, I was kind of like,
Did that happen for anybody else in the room?
Not me.
So,
You know, being funny doesn't make somebody attractive, because if that was the case, then I'm the hottest shit, you know.
So we just saw that a humorous personality can make a person more attractive. But what physical features make one person more attractive than the other? Is it symmetry? Is it eye color? Is it their hair? Is it their skin tone?
Well, we all know the gold standard of attractiveness is tall, dark, and handsome. But of course, sometimes you only get 2 out of 3, so dark and handsome.
You know, I think instead of relying on like old worn out cliches or, you know, whatever your mom told you, I like to rely on science. And that some scientists have determined that physical attraction is just based on this one really, really simple qualifier.
Oh, dark. Handsome.
Oh, you mean use the same 2 things that I just said already to reinforce a punchline that was not funny in the first place? The fuck out of here.
Okay, dear viewer, you get to help us. What makes a person beautiful? Are you ready to be human number 101? I thought so. Here we go. Humans come in all shapes and sizes, but science says we're drawn to certain people for specific reasons. Take a close look at the following 6 faces. You'll be asked to select the most attractive. Watch again as we replay their faces a few times.
I see what you're doing. They're playing the same. They're putting like 5 different faces up on the screen to see which ones are more attractive, and they're showing the same ones twice as much as the others. So again, I think they're trying to fucking is a racket.
All of them were okay.
See, now they're switching the rotation.
Face you think is most attractive. So, who do you choose?
Number 6 or 1
According to research,
or
most
3.
people will select face number 4 for
What?
one simple reason.
I figured that.
We humans are more
Looks like somebody that you would know.
Yeah, it has the same facial structure as mine. You know,
to an average
to go around her chin.
for each of the other faces.
Say, wait, hold on. Look what I just said that. I just said that. Hold on, look, they're ratting themselves out. Wow, just see.
They're showing number 4's face a lot
More than anybody else.
According to research, most people will select face number 4 for one simple reason: familiarity. We humans are more attracted to faces our brains are familiar with, and we showed you this human's face for 11 seconds, compared to an average of 5 seconds for each of the other faces.
So, familiarity breeds attraction?
Try putting that on a Valentine's Day card.
I told you. See, dude,
But
why?
not me. I didn't.
Results are in.
So then what the fuck is the point of even watching the goddamn show? If you're gonna use all these psychological tactics to bend your scientific quote-unquote bullshit.
I think they're letting you know basically how our brain reacts.
This is fucking terrible.
Humans who prefer the company of men. Yes, you do. Today is your lucky day. Are you ready for some male dancers?
Right now they're trying to figure out if being a good dancer is anything related to how good your reproductive shit is, basically. So they had all these dudes that are about to do this right now whack off into cups to count their sperm versus their fucking dance moves.
You know, they're number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are here to rate these. After each dancer, you will get a chance to fill out your survey and let us know how you feel. Shall we get the party started?
All of them are ugly.
But they got bags over their heads, but...
This guy's got some great dance moves.
No, he doesn't.
I used to be in a dance crew. I'm really passionate about it.
Oh, really? Were you?
Unless girls, there's a attraction, you know, to fucking, you know, guys that can make a fool of themselves.
Yeah.
How much you want some A in your life?
Well, I do that every week.
Oh, you get ass every week?
No, I make a fool of myself.
Oh. You can see that the older ladies like number B. He'll be dancing like you, Kevin. Well,
We learned that somewhere.
Yeah, it's called fucking.
they're only now mimicking fucking the other guy.
I noticed they're putting the shittier dancers behind hip-hop music versus the ones that are supposed to be decent behind more club-style music.
So she wasn't getting excited. You know, what you want?
Oh, thank you for season all over the place. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
really
get
do. Let's take this savage out so she can't do anything, or so she won't do anything, rather.
Look at us, like, don't touch me with the ball.
Like, fuck you, I'm gonna take a shit. How dare you try to get me to play with that ball.
Go in your hole.